Most people at some stage or another in their lives have had an arm wrestle across a table. Be it a schoolboy or girl challenge, a fun family tussle, or a battle for bragging rights among work colleagues. Now, there is a competitive element to what has become a serious sport with national colours and even a world championships. The South African Arm Wrestling Federation's National Championships for 2019 was hosted by Primal Arm Wrestling at Gorski's in Krugersdorp. So how and why did some of the top competitors get involved in the sport?
From the beginning, there wasn't classes for me because I was too small. So I started competing, real competing at grade 8. Then I began in the juniors class, and then I moved up to where I am today, men's under 100.
Yes, I was already. This is my, it's a couple of years, it's my 60th national title, if I would be winning right also as well. And I was SA champion. The first time I became champion was 2006. And from there on I've been haven't been beaten for about 16 years in a row now. This will be my last 16 years, and then I'm done with SA Nationals, only moving to the Pro Division.
I've been doing arm wrestling now for 10 years. This is my 10th year. And I've been, in my weight division, I've been number 1 for the last 9 years. And I'm number 1 arm wrestler in South Africa for about 6 years now. This is my 6th year. And yeah, I'm just enjoying it.
I'll say to become a legend, you must belong in the sport. So I've been in the sport for 34 years. Back in 1985, when I went to the army, I was about 49 kilograms, about this size. And then in 86, the Over the Top movie came out with Sylvester Stallone playing the arm wrestler with the truck, big truck and everything, and that got arm wrestling going. So that's where it started. I've been doing it for 34 years and blessed to still be a champion and still be doing it.
I'm a musician as well, and the founder of the Brothers in Arms Arm Wrestling was Philip Botha, and he's also a musician. So with the music, we started talking, and he introduced me to the arm wrestling, and that's how I got involved, and we started training together, and he said there's a lot of potential, and yeah, here I am today.
So I've been arm wrestling for about 5 years. I did not know arm wrestling was a sport in South Africa, but I've loved the idea of arm wrestling since the Over the Top movie back in 1978 or 87 or whenever it came out. I love arm wrestling, and when I found out arm wrestling started, I joined a club, and I wasn't very good. Some people didn't even know why I wanted to arm wrestle. And today I didn't do too badly. I think I came 5th, so yeah, anybody can do it.
It is indeed a sport for all, with left and right arm classes in all the various weight divisions. Many competitors take part in both left and right arm categories. Nel is one of them, and he had extra motivation to win his category at the Nationals.
Because when Reinhard Swanepoel said he will sponsor me to Worlds 2090 this year if I come first in the men's under 100, because I'm now 17 years old. So I must compete against men twice my age to go to the Worlds this year. And so far, left hand I'm first, and the next is now right hand, and then we will see how it goes. But it's a good competition, and we look forward to see what happens.
To the uninitiated, arm wrestling looks fairly straightforward, but there are a number of techniques involved, like the hook, the top roll, and the press. So what is it about the sport that gets Viergeers so excited?
I like to go into hook because something from my father is I inherited strength from him. So yeah, I like to hook, but my toughest competition in this tournament is definitely my brother Ludwig.
Viergeer is still at school and spends much of his time explaining to friends and fellow learners that there is so much more to the sport of arm wrestling, and that it's a sport that once tried gets you hooked.
Well, everybody, if I say at school and wherever I say no, I'm an arm wrestler, everybody thinks of the normal flat, just pinned down. But it's actually not. It's very much technique, it's hard work and dedication also going into it. So nobody sees the hard work going into it. So definitely, I will say people must come try it and see how it is, because if the bug is bitten you, you will stay in arm wrestling for life. It's not just a sport, it's a way of life, definitely.
As with many low-profile sports, there are strong family connections in arm wrestling, with the younger generation benefiting from the experience and know-how of the older family members who are the pioneers of the sport, as the vet Botha explains.
My dad is Willie Botha and stuff. He's like the father of arm wrestling in South Africa. They went from back in 2000 and early, still in the arm wrestling history of South Africa. They went overseas and went to go and teach, learn the right techniques and the right way to arm wrestle and stuff. That by that time we were still just arm wrestling with not a lot of intelligent and know-how on arm wrestling and stuff. So I was introduced by the lovely sport by my dad and stuff. And from there on we started, and yeah.
In order to compete at national and ultimately international level in arm wrestling, the competitors, among them some of the legends of the sport, have had to train long and hard year in and year out to reach the top in their particular weight categories.
I used to gym a lot, but now I live on a farm, so I do all of the farm work myself. And being a musician, the hands and fingers are very important in arm wrestling. I'm a concertina player, so you know your hands, you always look after your hands. My son, from the early age, I trained his hands to be strong. With me, I got to look after my life is music. So then I started doing a lot of chopping with the axe and pick and lashing, strengthening the hands. So I do a lot of push-ups, pull-ups, only body training, no gymming, a couple of dumbbells, and then arm wrestling, yeah. Look, I'm 80 kilos at the moment, and I'm the defending, I managed to defend both my left and right arm titles. But at the Worlds, I'll be focusing, I'm a Grandmaster already, so that's 50 plus, and I'll be focusing on the 75 kilogram Grandmaster division, but it's always nice to test you against the young guns, to make sure, and then I can go and try the old men at the Worlds. But they're strong there. Overseas, more than 55 countries, it's a big game there. So the Russians, the Ukrainians, they're incredible strong arm wrestlers.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of hands and wrist training and stuff. Yes, your hands and wrists is very important and stuff. Then your core is also very important, because that is the core, is the horsepower you put out. You need to be strong in arm wrestling. You have to have a lot of technique, especially on nationals like this. You've got to be quite technical. But on the end it comes down to raw horsepower. I just came from the sea and stuff. Normally I would be hovering on the 90 kilos and stuff. I was on the sea now for 60 days. So the sea is not your friend. It like tapered down on my weight. So I weighed in today. I wrestled for, it's 10 kilograms weight losses and stuff. So I weighed in about 86 kilos. Yeah, so some of the boys, they prepare like 89.9 just to get under 90 and stuff. So yeah, my weight is on 86 kilo hovering now.
In this sport, there's just no off days. You're always training for the next competition. So yeah, it takes a lot of training, table training, like we are competing on. That's the main thing. You must always be on the table at least twice a week. And some weights in the gym, obviously. And it's just, the only rest you get is about 2 weeks before the competition, so you can heal. Otherwise, you're always training, because the competitions, they are quick after each other, and so there's not really time for rest. Yeah, it's always training.
Every arm wrestler that you speak to will have different advice on why and what you need to do to be a good, strong arm wrestler. Some people believe that you do not go to gym, you do not train, because it's bad for you. Others, like myself, I train, I go to gym, and then we train once a week on the table, like here behind me, simulating matches after matches just to get good at it, just like you would in judo or karate, same principle.
Indeed, arm wrestling is considered to be a combat sport, as opponents face off on the arm wrestling table, fighting for the best hand control, technique and position until one of the opponent's hand is beneath the pin pad level. Uncle Nell and David Botha tell us who their toughest opponents are.
Well, by far, up to date, it's supposed to be Donnie Fourie, but on left, I don't know why he didn't put up, and I don't know, because normally he's like, he won't lay down, and today, just when I went against him, he didn't apply a lot of pressure, and that was kind of weird for me. So we'll see, maybe on right, he's got a couple of surprises up his bag or up his sleeve. So yeah, up to competition, I would say, yeah, Dani Puri. He's like the strongest guy in our class, under 90 kilos.
Yeah, today in the 110 class was Dani Strubel. He's really strong. He came back from an injury and he's doing very well. So it was a tough match for me. Yeah, that was the guy that gave me the most competition today. Yeah.
The national championships are a huge success, with men and women competitors from 18 clubs around the country taking part in 26 different weight categories, both seniors and juniors, and left and right arm wrestlers.
Well, the competition was very, very, very huge competition. A lot of competitors, strong competitors. I should say one of the biggest outcomes that we had till this since I've been in the arm wrestling sport itself. I should say there's for the disability as well, because there's a disability side for the sport, and it's the first time that I saw so many people pitching to do it as well. And then of course for the able people, only thing I can say is there's a lot of strong guys here, and the competition was very tight, definitely.
This was a great event today here at Kroskies in Krugersdorp. And we had 18 clubs today, came all the way from Cape Town, Secunda, Witbank, Inner Rand, Boksburg, everywhere there was clubs, 18 clubs. We had over 100 contenders here and almost over 600 matches today. It was a brilliant event with all the guys that was here.
We had clubs represent all the way from Ladybrand, close to Lesotho, Cape Town, Christiana, all over South Africa, represent here today to compete. Anywhere there's not a club in South Africa, I'd like to create a club. I'd like to help them create a club. So this is what we are doing. These clubs come from far. We go there to assist them in creating new refs, helping them with their competitions as well, and likewise they support us with ours.
Best of the best were able to challenge one another for the right to represent South Africa at the World Championships in Romania in October. But of course, not everyone could go to the Worlds. Having said that though, the sport is highly inclusive.
So as you guys will see or have seen today, we've got female arm wrestlers. My wife is one of the arm wrestlers here. And if I don't watch out, I'm pretty sure she'll take me on the table as well. We've got a disabled class. One of our disabled members has placed third at the International World Championships already. So again, this is for everyone, women, children, and disabled alike.
With all the 100 competitors that was here today, there's a lot of different categories. There was ladies, men, masters, juniors, and then obviously there was from a 70, 80, 90, and 100, and then 110 plus categories, all the kilo. Masters is 40 plus, from 21 to 40 is a senior. So we covered the seniors, we covered the masters, we covered the juniors. This is for everyone.
Judging by the turnout in Krugersdorp, arm wrestling is in good health in South Africa. So how do South Africa's competitors match up against the likes of Russia and the other Eastern European countries?
So yeah, arm wrestling is not so big in South Africa as yet, and that's what we are busy doing, is building up the sport. Just in this year, or the last previous year, we opened another 5 clubs and went over another 100 members in South Africa. So we're building up every year, every month, getting new people in and getting the people involved in the sport and let them know about the sport. We've been in the sport from 1987 in South Africa, at Caesars, what's Empress Palace now, all those places. We had a lot of competitions for money, and obviously like now for the amateur competitions, that is the SA Championships. And this, who won the qualifications, are going to the World Championships that is in Rome in September.
Arm wrestling in South Africa is not a very big sport currently. Overseas and internationally, it is a massive sport, and we would like to grow it. I would like to grow it in numbers and events. We're planning on hosting arm wrestling competitions once a month all across of South Africa. So that is my vision for the sport.
So if you've dominated your school classroom, the playground, the sports change room, or even the boardroom, perhaps you too could be taking part in the South African Championships, not to mention the World Championships. Not sure? Well, here are 2 men who will convince you.
the message that I can give to anybody who would like to participate in the sport is you can contact us on Facebook. We have the South African Arm Wrestling Federation, SAAWF. You're more than welcome to have a look there. You can ask there for your nearest club if you're interested in arm wrestling. They will contact you and they will inform you of the nearest club that you can enter and you can join. And then as well, for any person who'd like to get into arm wrestling, I can promise you it helps you in a lot of ways that you don't understand. It's just not a physical sport, but it's a mental sport. And we all know being mentally healthy, it's the best thing to have. So all combined, if you want to be fit mentally, physically, you're more than welcome to join the sport. We are like one big family here, and everyone is here to help one another.
Never give up. My son had to come second for 4 years in a row before he became a champion. Today was he's undefeated since 2007. Undefeated. Today he nearly lost. Why? He was fighting a very, very good arm wrestler, Dani Fourie, but the vet went on the sea fishing for 60 days and he's depleted, no nutrients, nothing. And he said, Dad, I'm coming to the Nationals. And I said, remember one thing, here there's no excuses. So today I salute my son for digging so deep and managing to stay undefeated since 2007. The old man is back, and let's see what happens.
Arm wrestling is on an upward curve in terms of participation numbers and ambition. So if you fancy taking part, here's some advice.
There's a few clubs. I think we are 18 clubs now all over the country. So yeah, you must just, in your region, you can just see we are on Facebook. We are reopening our website now. So you can just see what's the closest club closest to you. There's contacts there, and just contact the club supervisor or the manager, and they'll get in touch with you and they'll tell you what you need to do to get into the club. And yeah, we are looking for new arm wrestlers every day, especially the young ones, because they're the future of arm wrestling. So yeah, we're excited about the sport. It's growing. The last year, I think we've been growing about 50%. So it's an upcoming sport, and we are really excited about what's happening in South Africa. But yeah, we need the guys out there.
Yeah, that's easy. We've got a lot of clubs now with arm wrestling on the growing part again and stuff. It stacks sometimes and then it grows, but like you can see now, we've got a full house and stuff. Lot of interest and stuff in the game and stuff, and a lot of new blood and new upcoming guys. I can see they don't even know the old boys and stuff. That's how new they are in the game and stuff. Yeah, but the best advice I basically have for arm wrestling, and when you want to start doing it, just look up for your clubs. Just Google arm wrestling or go on Facebook. We've got the SAWF, that's the federation. Then my dad's club is also the longest, oldest club in South Africa. Our club is about 33 years old of knowledge and stuff. Started by my dad, that's BIA, Brothers in Arms and stuff. So yeah, we've got a lot of clubs all over South Africa. So these days it's easy to get to a club and to get to know the guys and then get to know the techniques and all that kind of stuff. So it's not that difficult like it was in the years before.
Next time you put your elbow on the table and raise your arm to take on a friend, colleague or family member, just think about the national champions and how they got where they are in the sport of arm wrestling.